And I was reading up on Trump's budget, and it is a doozy. This is from crfb.org, also known as the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. And they did a breakdown of Trump's budget. So let's go into the article. A 43% cut to all non-defense discretionary spending from the currently planned level of $756 billion in 2028 to $436 billion. Now, if we go into details, cutting the EPA by 33.7%. Okay, strike three, you're out. There's no strike one, there's no strike two, strike three, you're out. Like, we talked about this in the previous podcast. He appointed Scott Pruitt as head of the EPA, who sued them 13 times over air and water regulations. So he's pretty much trying to cripple the whole agency. Now, who doesn't want clean water or clean air? I think that's something that both sides can agree on, that they want clean air and clean water. All right, we continue. Cut the State Department by 26%. Cut safety net programs like Head Start, which is early childhood education. And for the record, almost every industrialized nation has early childhood education. Cutting law enforcement spending at the FBI and Department of Justice, the National Institute of Health, cutting the National Science Foundation by 29%. Cutting the Army Corps of Engineers, which is a major infrastructure program, 22%. A 21% cut to the Labor Department, and this is the crazy one. A $777 billion boost to defense spending over 10 years, paid for by partially reducing overseas contingency operations, also known as the war budget. So he wants to increase defense spending. And like I just told you guys in this podcast and the last podcast, we spend more than the next 7 countries combined on war and the military. So I don't see why we need to increase the defense spending any more than we do now. We actually need to be decreasing it. All right, let's continue. A 7.1% cut to Medicare by 2028. Now, this is another thing. Trump literally said he was not going to cut Medicare and Medicaid when he was campaigning. And there was actually a tweet where he was in a debate against Mike Huckabee, and he sent a tweet afterwards saying, I'm the only Republican candidate that's not going to cut your Medicare and Medicaid. Well, it looks like he's going back on that promise because he wants to cut it 7.1% by 2028. And like I said, you're going to see them on talking about this budget saying they're reforming Medicaid and Medicare. No, they're not. That means cut. They're cutting it. And they've always wanted to privatize Social Security and Medicare. And imagine your Social Security money being on Wall Street. And think about the economic crisis that we had in 2008. Do you really think that your money is going to be safe on Wall Street rather than in a Social Security trust? Just saying. And all right, we continue. A 22.5% cut to Medicaid and Obamacare subsidies by 2028. This is another thing. They're still trying to repeal and replace Obamacare. So they're really trying hard to make it harder for people to get by. And to add insult to injury, they're gonna make a 27% cut to SNAP, which is a food stamp program, and a 20.1% cut to Section 8 housing assistance by 2028. This is really an attack on poor people, guys. And I thought Trump was supposed to be looking out for the little man, and apparently not. And lastly, for you millennials, the budget will also eliminate loan forgiveness for students who go into public service, do away with subsidized Stafford loans, and establish a new unified income-based repayment plan for student loans.